Hello, and welcome to Suddenly Dragon Studios' favorite
Endless Legend.
Legend. So we just finished playing Dungeon of the Endless, and to put it simply, this is the next game in the series. I mean, they're standalone games, but in the Endless universe, they connect to each other. So the basic,
Over millennia.
so the basic gist of it is, and if you want more detail, you can go watch the first 10 or so minutes of our playthrough of Dungeon of the Endless. I go into a little more detail there, but I'll give you the bullet points. Basically, the Endless are the first race to have explored the stars and populate other planets. They go through their life and they're inventing new things and discovering all this science. And there was one particular planet, Auriga, and Auriga was one of their main xenobiology research centers and experimentation centers. So what they do is they had all these tunnels under Auriga where they would create new specimens and new species, and then they would release them onto the surface to see how they fared with the other species and how they interacted and such. And what happens is, over time, as the Endless started to advance and advance, they found a way to upload their minds into computers, and this created a divide in the Endless. So there was one faction called the Virtuals who believed that they should upload themselves into the servers, and because there were not as many resources required to keep a computer powered, as opposed to feeding and watering and helping bodies to thrive. That's what they believed. And then there were the Concretes who believed that keeping their bodies were another way to experience the world and experience space. So these two factions started butting heads a little bit, and they went to war, and we call it the Dust Wars. And if you don't know what dust is, it's this strange substance that the Endless invented. It was actually a bunch of little teeny nanobots that were powered by ambient radiation in the universe. So the dust became a vital factor to the Endless's economy and their inventions and their research and all these other things. So the Endless go to war with each other, the Virtuals versus the Concretes, and basically they wiped themselves out. So Auriga, this planet that was where the Concretes invented all of their new species, was under attack by the Virtuals, and the Virtuals actually hacked into Auriga's systems and released all the experimental specimens. And so these new specimens killed the Endless that were there, the Concretes. And so in Dungeon of the Endless, you guys watched us play through that. Basically, we were on an escape pod and we crashed into these tunnels. We had to find our way to the surface. So,
and then Q several 100,000 years later?
Several thousand years later, our characters from Dungeon of the Endless and all the other people who were on the prison ship and some of the other specimens that escaped, they have propagated and repopulated Auriga. And so here we are on Auriga, and we're going to play through Endless Legend. So we hope you all enjoy it.
Everyone, keep in mind this is a turn-based strategy game. So it will be turn-based. It's not going to be a ton of high-action moments, but it is going to get us a chance to look into a lot of the culture and the like of these races, which is really cool.
For that purpose, we've also set, the difficulty is newbie, the game speed is fast. We don't want this to take particularly long. We even made it so that if we get into combat, the animations for the combat are as fast as possible. That way you guys aren't watching us kind of sit around and just...
and be bored. We don't want you bored. Yeah, we won't be. But
that way you guys can see the quests that we're going through and learn about these races in Endless Legend. And we're looking at a few things in this. We're looking at not just the story and the cultures, but also the game design on what makes a good 4X strategy type of thing. So, We're all queued up. We've chosen our races here. I'm playing the roving clans, which are kind of like traveling traders. Silver is playing the Vaulters, who are scientists who live underground in the tunnels that used to be these xenobiology facilities. And Kalorig is playing the Wild Walkers, who are kind of like the elves, except for they're very well known for their building and their structures and their architecture. So they
Build all the things.
basically went from, oh, let's hide in the trees and snipe things from the trees, to, well, if we want to live on the plains, let's just build giant towers that we can snipe things from the towers with. Type of things. Anyway, I like the Wild Walkers. They're really cool.
I've never played them. And again, we do get a varied perspectives on this. I've played
Definitely.
through a singular full game of this, and that's about it. Creation Silver here, though, they've played more than a
I've
few.
got 120 hours logged on this thing. So,
Let's see.
What's that?
I've got
500 hours on Civ 5? Oh.
yeah, I was going to say,
I
I've
feel
probably
bad.
played this as much as you've played Civ.
No, I've clocked a
You've
lot
played
of
a lot
Civ. I
Alright, well, let's go
I
ahead and
like
get
my
started.
turn-based strategies.
We've ranted for about 7 minutes now. So
Oh,
let's
we're
get
so
going.
sorry. Let's ride. Ready.
Alright.
each faction will have a video, so we're gonna be silent and let you guys watch that. So,
Oh, yeah, that'd
yeah.
be good.
Everybody quiet.
Oh, loading. I silenced the other guys, no worries, just so we can get good video. We want you guys getting the story. It's honestly is fantastic. And really varied from video to video. Last time I played this game, it was the Morgar, the very aquatic, sea-based people. I had maybe 2 cities on the coast. Otherwise, I effectively ruled the seas with an iron fist, or scaled fist. It was a lot of fun. Really, just fantastic story. It was cool stuff. Loading the game. Behold, oh, the birth of Araga. Wow, okay. And the shape became the land. And the land became rich, and all of that is me. Auriga. Loading terrain type. Hey, loading anomalies. You're an anomaly. You're a road. Loading roads. Loading weather. Creating instancing mesh. Instancing meshes are a little bit. Tip, don't forget your upkeep costs. Production? Dust? Everything costs a bit of dust on Arga, from city improvements to armies, units, and heroes. Here we go. The
It's
video.
coming. I am convinced. Now I must convince the others. We have seen the longer winters. We have felt the limits of the sharing. Our planet is changing. We must change with it. We must leave the forest. Start again. Explore and reach out.
Okay.
We must find new ways. Adapt. Learn. For if not, we will perish.
Still can't tell if that's their hair or ears or their head.
While I wear the crown.
Oh, I'm king. I think. Alright.
I just realized I was a derp and left my cursor in the smack dab middle of the screen through the whole cutscene.
Well done, Bish. That's okay. I just got
I'm
back from
sorry.
deafening you guys so we could watch stuff. So, looks like we have the Draken involved in this game.
Yeah.
Uratetwatan. So the Draken are a race that are very diplomatic. One of their benefits is they know and diplomatically interact with every race and every player from the start of the game. Just automatically.
So,
All right,
Oh,
I
hey. See,
have
but
this-
I started right on a shore.
little spit of land to my name. Let's see.
Little spit of land. Oh, I
Yeah.
haven't met you yet. Yeah, we have to. This isn't like Civilization where we can just list ourselves as allies and then instantly know each other in the beginning.
There
of the
we
game.
go. Got my
You
camera
actually
adjusted
have
for
to,
you
like,
guys so
go
you can
meet
see
each
my
other.
menu.
Um,
So-
I am gonna.
As you guys can at least see on my screen, dear players, we've got the various yields that each tile can give out. The blue is science, the yellow is dust, the red is industry, the green is food. And if you remember from the last game, all of their games run off of the FIDS, or was it FIDSy
Fitzy.
Yeah, so in
system?
yeah, in this Endless Space and Endless Space, or sorry, in Dungeon of the Endless and the Endless Space games, they don't have influence, so it's just FIDS.
Okay.
They
Food, industry, dust, and science. Endless Space 2 and this have influence, which is the eye of Fitzy. So,
Obviously, an RPG in a dungeon, you're not going to need to influence other people by the hundreds, which is basically what the influence system is supposed to
Yep.
represent.
So, what do you guys recommend building near or on for the Wild Walkers?
for the Wild Walkers, you're going to want to build in or near at least forest, because that's kind of where some of their strengths lie.
Okay, well, I've got a few mountain forests right here next to where I'm starting, including a massive tree anomaly.
That's something that exists in Endless Legend and in the later Endless Spaces, is there will be anomalies. For Endless Legend,
Yeah.
they're usually unique terrain.
Awesome.
modifiers,
Yeah,
I also have a
geothermal
life
pits,
tree.
Massive trees.
yeah. When you look at anomalies, like I've got a life tree here. The thing with anomalies is they can seem kind of complicated at first, but really all you need to know is that it's a special tile that has different yields than a tile of that type normally would.
It adds
I've got
to
this
it.
life tree that is actually just a wetland tile. But because it's got a life tree on it, it yields 6 more food, 2 more science, and 10 more happiness than a normal wetland tile would.
So, lots of fun.
So, all you really need to know about anomalies is they're there to make the world more colorful and interesting. But really,
Boom.
it's just
City founded.
yields different
All the stuff up there.
outputs. Yeah. So I am going to found. It looks like I've got this little
Now,
lake here.
Let's see. My
I
research.
want to be right over there.
So,
No.
research-wise, as the Wild Walkers, I start with a sewer system, which adds approval to my city, and I don't know what the heck the thumb up is, but
Happiness.
happiness. Okay.
Yeah. So the approval, that's
And
actually not approval.
cultivation.
That's saying so your happiness level will change the approval level of your city.
Okay.
So that's saying when your approval level is happy, you get 1 extra influence in that city. But you have to pay 1 dust from the city upkeep.
Okay. And then
So,
I
Sorry to all
have.
of my viewers who get to hear about all this, but see none of it.
Yeah, well, I'm just opening the science menu and hovering over sewer system to see it. So if you want to show,
I have a sewer system, thank you.
Anyway,
Congrats.
Yes.
Have a pipe full of waste.
It's better than a street full of waste.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
even have a
found
street
right
full of
here.
waste.
Okay, so
Right there seems good.
I think I'm gonna start building a seed storage.
Yeah. So one thing I usually do in this is, and this is up to you guys, but just random little hint. When you go into the top left, you see all your different menus. If you go to the second one, that's your city list.
Boop.
Under the AI column, you can actually set an AI for each of your cities, so that you could tell it hey, just automatically build whatever best fits, a balanced generation or industry generation or food or science or dust or influence. So it just helps to speed up turns in case you don't know what to build. You
Fair
can
enough.
just say, hey, give me industry and you do you. And then, it'll just do what it wants. And it'll do what's best for, say, industry generation. So,
So
something to do.
I'm gonna queue up a few things to get stuff building. I've
Yeah,
also
I'm gonna
got a
get,
Kazanji faction off in the distance.
Just like an endless or Dungeon of the Endless. Sorry, I keep calling it Endless Dungeon because habit. But anyway, just like in Dungeon of the Endless, there are a number of minor races that are
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
in the world of Auriga, and they'll cause problems, and they'll be friends and enemies and frenemies and all kinds of things.
Yep.
Okay, what do I want to research? Let's see. Industry's
Emerald
my
City
jam, right?
Archers. What's that? Yeah, industry.
Or, no, let's see. Hey, Mill Foundry sounds nice. Let's do a Mill Foundry.
Either that or Alchemist Furnace, so you can get titanium and glass steel extractors.
Yeah, I'm going for that second. Actually, I'm going for the luxuries first. But, well, second.
Start with that.
I'm just rushing dust, so I'm getting Empire Mint first.
Okay, and so to kind of explain what we just debated over, luxury
Da-da-da-da.
resources are a resource that you can spend to boost a specific part of your civilization, kind of. Like, one will boost just happiness, while the other will boost your army's defensive properties.
Yeah,
Another
so it's
will boost
basically
your
a buff
science
for
or
your
whatever.
empire.
Um,
It's a temporary buff for your whole empire. And then strategic resources are used to build special buildings or special units, or to equip your units with special equipment. Because you can actually, in the military menu, the military screen, it's the fist up in the top left, you can actually go in and you can equip your units with specific items. Like I can equip my dervishes with a different hammer, or I can change them to being spear wielders, and those will give them different abilities. Like spears are better against cavalry, hammers are better at like stunning. They stun units. Anyway, lots of details. This game, from what I've seen, it actually does have kind of a learning curve to it.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, it's got quite a learning curve, I should say. But once you kind of figure out all
There
of
we go.
it,
Here's
it
my
actually
army.
makes it really fun.
So here's my soldier, my hero.
yes.
Yeah,
Like other fantasy games, there are heroes, some of which will come from quests, others will come from the marketplace, and they won't always be the faction that you chose. Like, if
True.
I wanted to and had access to the marketplace, which you don't at the start of the game, or I don't, the roving
I do.
clans might.
I do.
But yeah, I could buy a necrophage, a giant bug hero, or a fish person hero, or, and so on and so on.
All those other things.
Oh. Let's see. Oh.
Alrighty.
What kind of decent elf uses a crossbow?
Ones that want to wield a shield as well.
You're a shield as well.
Your face is a shield.
Which I've used a hand crossbow and a shield before. Not a very good idea.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
Unless you're the Vaulters, in which case your crossbow is more like a gun, but not a gun,
Yeah.
and you're more like Riot
So-
Police.
those of you who didn't hear what they were talking about, this is the armory screen where you can edit sort of what equipment your characters will use in combat. So, and we'll stick with the crossbow.
Yeah. Usually, until you get your cavalry, I think it is, or your bigger melee units as
Yeah.
the Wild Walkers, it's better to keep your archers using shields so they survive a little bit longer. Because otherwise they just get rushed.
Yeah. All right. With that, I think I've ranted enough and shown enough for intro. So, let's let these poor sods get playing. Thank you for your patience, everyone. All right, and we have a quest.
Alright, so what we'll do with these is, these quests are pretty long, we won't go through and read all of them, but we'll just at least scroll through them so you guys can read through it as you're watching, and you can pause the video
Yep.
and read through the story of the factions that we're playing. So, fun stuff.
What? Blatant plug to get all 3 stories that you need to watch all our videos? Wow!
What?
Who'd have thought? Let's see.
I mean, it's either that or we make the videos 3 times longer by taking turns reading our quests out loud.
We'd rather not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, shameless
That's
plug or
time-consuming.
really absurdly long video.
Shameless plug.
Exactly. But yeah. Since this would be a perfect time to explain technology. The research screen is set up, or separated, I should probably say is a better term, into eras. The more you have to research a certain amount of tech in one era to move on to the next one. This isn't like Civ where you can be like, oh, it's the medieval era, so I'm gonna research gunpowder and own everyone.
Ooh.
You can't do that.
I found 30 dust.
You can also queue up research with the shift key. That way you don't have to spend every turn, you know.
You actually don't need to hit the shift key, you just click on other researches, and it does it.
Must be a holdover from other
Games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Maybe I'll be able to build one of the giant towers this time.
The Megapoly is mine.
Nay.
Just so long as you don't summon Cthulhu.
I...
That reference
Okay.
that we see.
Since we're at that game, last time we played this, I played the Great Morgar Seafaring Race and conquered the ocean. Apparently, upon conquering the ocean, a huge, massive sea monster comes up and makes you hate life. And I was not strong enough to defeat it at that time. So it continued just stalking the seas, making us hate sailing. Me hate sailing. I just kind of was on defensive, helping everyone else stay alive when they had to traverse the continents. And these two have been giving me crap ever since I accidentally summoned the Sleeper Beneath.
It's mostly just silver.
It's mostly me. I'll take credit for not letting it go, because I find it hilarious.
Credit, blame.
Yeah, one of the two. They're very similar.
They're interchangeable.
Goodness. Alright, I'm gonna get myself another ranger so I can go explore more. And I don't have access to the marketplace yet, so that I could recruit more heroes, but we'll get there. And you guys did 8 players? Heavens.
Apparently,
Ah, the quest screen.
while we're waiting for whoever we're waiting for,
Ah, not me.
some people might see the
My quest has a really long flavor text.
So go see his point of view. But anyway, down near the turn button, there should be a little snowflake and a fort, and
West.
a number to
Action.
another number.
Ah,
Araga
Right
is
there.
slowly freezing, which kind of adds a time element to the game. You have basically a warm time where everything is as you would normally play a turn-based strategy game, until winter hits, and every race except one is made sad, because
Mhm.
suddenly all the production goes down, all of your movement disappears.
Ugh.
And it gets worse and worse with each winter, and each winter gets longer.
mm-hmm.
So
It sucks.
And the summers get shorter, too,
yeah.
as time goes on.
So there's kind of a speed element where you kind of need to wrap up the game before it gets to be almost too tedious to continue. Though one would hope that you have reached one of the 7 victories.
Yeah, there are a few. Oh, spices.
The
Do I-
spice must flow.
Do I have a spice extractor?
No.
No, but that's something I can get. I will add it to my list. Yes. Yes, lovely.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotta say, my city looks dope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think mine looks better.
I disagree. Yours looks like unexplored map. So, there.
It's yours.
So, just real quick, my quest involves pacifying a minor faction village. So, how that's done, just so you know, is either you can attack it.
Here's the
which-
manufacturing on mine.
I mean, you can attack it, and basically you just go through combat, and then you win the combat, and yay, you pacified the minor village. The other
Violent.
way is to get a research that allows you to talk to the minor faction, and basically you can either parlay with them, which makes it so you do a quest for them, and then they're your friends. Or you can bribe them, so you pay them a certain amount of dust, which is the currency in this game, and it pacifies that village. So,
There it is.
with that in mind, I'm actually going to go ahead and change up my research so I get language square right after the Empire Mint. And that way I can parley with these villages.
Whoa!
Hey, I met Kale.
Hi!
Hello, Kale.
Dude's got a sick belt. Let's start negotiation! Give me all your things. Or
Give me
else.
all the things. I will shut you out of the marketplace.
Oh.
It's a special thing that the roving clans get, is they can deny people access to the marketplace.
Ugh.
Apparently, it's really annoying.
It's great when you're playing against some factions that really depend on the marketplace, because then you deny them access and you basically make them a deal of you pay me 300 dust and I'll give you access again.
Ugh.
Extortion.
Alright, my mill foundry research is complete. So I'm going to go add that to my queue in my city. Because production. Actually, we're going to do that next. Because production. Then we'll give me another ranger. Now, I'm going to continue exploring because I need to explore ruins.
I'm gonna try and explore away from you, by the way, so that I don't steal all your ruins.
That'd be nice.
So,
All
this place where I found it is really long. Ugh. One of the things that's nice about the roving clans, and you can kind of see my city here, is I should turn off the tile yield so you can see it better. My primary city is this big giant beetle. And one of the things that's really cool about the roving clans is that their faction is kind of like desert traders. and they
pick
can
up
just
and
pack
move.
up their city onto their beetle, walk it somewhere else, and drop it down.
Plomp.
So you can literally just pick up cities and relocate them.
Yep. So my
Hmm.
first quest popped up, and here's somebody we mentioned, I believe, in Dungeon of the Endless. My quest involves Opbot, who is one of the characters you can play in Dungeon of the Endless.
Oh my.
It is from his point of view that you are actually going through the quest. And there's a minor fraction for anybody on my point of view. who's
Glass
wondering.
steel. Titanium.
And on the
Dye.
map,
Dirt.
as we've said multiple times, Ariga is covered in endless ruins,
Oh.
literally and figuratively. And we can explore them to find goodies
And minor quests. And,
and
stuff.
minor.
Oh.
Okay. So, with that, since we just finished that
Seed
turn,
storage.
I'm gonna go ahead and save. It's been a good little
Get
start.
started.
We got kind of our factions introduced. We kind of got our footholds in the world. We met a few minor factions along the way. So it's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and close this one out here, and then we can. Go
We'll
ahead and
pick you
start
guys up
another
next
episode
time. We don't
from
want to
here.
keep you here too long.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to just shove 5 hours of endless legends down your throat.
What?
So,
Why
It'll be
not?
an endless episode.
endless episode. So, thanks you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Like the video if you liked it. Go ahead and click the subscribe button if you want to see more, and then make sure to click on the bell icon if you want a notification anytime we upload something new.
And remember, if you click on the dislike button, there's a caveat. Tell us what we could do better.
Yeah, of course, if you have any thoughts, just leave a comment and let us know. We'd love to hear your feedback on our gameplay, our game discussion, all of our trivia and random things that we know. So,
But
anyway,
thank you for your
anybody
time.
else want to say anything?
Altars for
Praise
the
be to Shalgazoo Kralyor, ever may his bloodline rule.
Until Cthulhu
praise.
comes.
But
You. Goodbye, everybody.
Anyway,
Have a great
we'll see
day.
y'all next